Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Justin and I'm the road mapping expert and founder at Roadmap Heroes. Roadmap Heroes transforms tech teams to plan strategy, track execution and communicate clearly using road mapping tools. If you're an AHA administrator or power user, then there may be a time when you need to see the exact quantity and types of records that live in a particular workspace or line. This might be because you're doing an audit of your account, want to better understand where teams are creating certain types of records across the hierarchy, or because you need to move or consolidate lines or workspaces and need to plan the migration of data. The latter can be important, especially when roll-up relationships are being used, as you can lose those relationships depending on where the workspace is moved to. By default, AHA does not show us the detailed record count information in a straightforward way. If you're a customisations admin, it's possible to see the total number of records within a workspace, but no further detail around the breakdown of the different record types may exist. I'll show you what this looks like a bit later in the video. Investing some time up front to create a powerful dashboard to quickly show you this information will save you lots of time in future, instead of trying to manually hunt for records across the menus or create bespoke reports each time on the fly. I've used this technique with many of my clients when we've re-engineered AHA hierarchies, moved records in bulk, or even decided to archive or delete workspaces and lines that are no longer required. So let's get started. First, let me quickly show you how to see the record counts for each line and workspace in AHA if you have customization admin permissions. Coming up to Settings and then Account, we need to come across to the Customisations section and then into Workspaces. Here you can see the various lines within my account, and for this example I'm going to open up Demo Company and look at the various lines within it. Further to the right here you can now see the record counts that AHA is showing, from 1 record in Products through to 0 records in some of these other lines. This is the total record count at that level, and it's not the sum of all of the children below. If I open up this line, you'll actually see now that there are 4 workspaces within that line and the total number of records within them. Whilst this can be a handy indicator of how many records you actually have within each workspace or line, it doesn't show the extra detail that we need. So let me show you a better way. First of all, let's create a new goal report. So coming up to roadmaps, I'm going to go List, and I'm going to create a new report here. I'm going to create my own list report, and I'm going to choose goals as being the first one. I'm going to choose goals with workspaces and then click on Next, because I want to be able to know which goals are within which workspace within my AHA hierarchy. Now let's go and click Next and just add a filter here and make sure that it's of the different workspaces and lines that we're interested in seeing. So I'm just going to click on my demo company level, and in fact I'm going to select all. So I'm now looking at all of the workspaces within that demo company. Next, click Create Report. I'm going to rejig this report slightly to start with the workspace name, and then we can see that here on the left hand side and then the goal name here. Now I'm interested in counting these, and on the top right here we can see that there are 36 goals across the entire account, but I want to see the breakdown at the individual levels, and so for that we're going to transition to a pivot report. The pivot report, now we can configure it so that we have in the rows and cells these different fields. When I click Add Fields, you can see I can pull in the 2 values from my list report. So I'm going to start with my workspace name and then come to the goal name. Down here within the cells, I can now count the records that exist. So instead of showing the goal names, I can actually count them instead. And at the bottom, I've now got the option of creating a total. So let's go ahead and click Save here. This is now starting to show something really meaningful. We're now seeing across the various lines and workspaces that we've got, the total number of goals that live within each of them. So I can now see how the goal records are distributed across my hierarchy. I can improve this report a little bit more by coming to Customize View and then Customize Style. And then we can show the cell headers in here. And that will now give me, when I click on Done, the title of that new column that we see. But goal name is no longer accurate. Let me show you a quick trick. If I come back to Roadmaps List, I'm actually able to change the name of these headings here. So instead of goal name now, I'm going to call this number of goals. There we go. And then when I come back to my pivot table, you'll see that that new name is now here and my report now looks complete. I'm really happy with this. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. So first of all, we'll come up to Save View in the top right. I'm going to give this report a meaningful name. So count of goal records for record dashboard works really well for me. I know that this report is going to be used specifically for my dashboard. I can choose that whether I want to share it or not. So I'm going to just choose the demo company at this level. And when I go to save in, I've already created a folder here called record count dashboard, and that can store all of my reports that I'm going to create. Editing permissions is going to be view only. I don't want anybody else to be able to modify these. So now let's click Save View. Perfect. This is starting to look good. Now what I need to do is go and recreate this report for the other record types that are in AHA, but in exactly the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and you can watch me in fast forward as I go and create initiative reports, feature reports, and maybe even some epic and idea reports as well. So let me go ahead and do that. And there we go. I've just finished my 6th report. It didn't take that long. And now if we come up to Roadmaps and Overview, you'll see that I've added them all into a single folder in Record Count Dashboard. So let's go and click and open that. Here are my 6 different reports for kind of the main records within AHA, but this isn't all of them. There can be notes, personas, competitors, etc., etc. So if you want to create other reports for other types of AHA records that you're interested in, then feel free to go ahead and do that now. Let's now create a dashboard so we can see this information really come together and look at the secret sauce that makes all of the reporting work on a single view. One of the quickest ways to create a new dashboard is actually to open up a report that you want to add into it. So let's click on Count of Goal Records for Record Dashboard. And then up here on the right hand side, I can click on this button and then Add to Dashboard. AHA now says, do I want to add this view to an existing dashboard or a new dashboard? So I'm going to create new dashboard, and that is now going to be called Record Count Dashboard. If I now click Create Dashboard, AHA has now added that into the Record Count Dashboard, and if I'm quick and click this link, that will take me straight into that view. Now I can start to move my reports around so that it shows all of the information that I need to see. And here we go. So let me speed this video up, and now I'm going to add the other reports in the same way, and you can see that come together. And there we go. My dashboard's really coming together now. The final piece I'm going to do is add a panel and add a text header just to help people to understand how to use this. I'm going to tell them to simply select the lines or workspaces that you want to see the number of records for in the main dashboard filter. So what do I mean by this? Well, I'm going to drag this all the way up to the top and place it here. And I'm actually going to add that dashboard filter now. And this dashboard filter can actually be used across all the reports. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter on workspace name and then click on Update Dashboard. And then if I was to select just a specific workspace in here, let's say Fredwin Cycling Product Demo, and then update my dashboard, all of these reports now have had their individual workspace filters overridden by the dashboard filter, and now I can see that the Fredwin Cycling product has now got 3 goals in it, 6 initiatives, 17 releases, 8 epics, 65 features, and 26 ideas. And this is really the power of this report and these dashboard filters. If I wanted to see how many records were in a certain branch, I could click on products and then the different workspaces within that branch, update the dashboard, and now I get to see that this has got 10 goals in that entire branch, 3 are in CMS, 3 are in Fredwin Cycling Product, and 4 in Fredwin IT, and the total number is 10. So this report's now working really, really well to get me that granular information. If a workspace doesn't appear in the report, even though you've selected it in the workspace name filter, it just means that there are no goal records that have been returned for that, and so it can be ignored. And that's it. Now you have a quick and convenient way to see the types and quantities of records that live in your AHA lines and workspaces, and this can be useful for various reporting and maintenance purposes. If you think this could be useful for your AHA implementation, then please do share it with folks so they can create something similar. And if you have any thoughts or comments on how to improve on this, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.